Hello, we are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Is Champagne Thickums gonna add Nicki Minaj to the Nokia remix? Okay, it has been reported that basically Champagne Thickums Nokia is expected to go to number 2 on the Hot 100 chart. Okay, is around 13% behind a number 1. Currently Kung Fu Kenny and SZA are number 1 with Luther. A lot of fans are hoping that the Nokia remix takes Nokia to the number 1 spot. Now, let me know how y'all feel about that. I believe Nicki would sound fire on the Nokia remix. I think Champagne Thickums is probably, if he do a Nokia remix, I don't know if Nicki Minaj would be first choice. I feel like Champagne Thickums, he has a very odd and weird relationship with Nicki Minaj. I think that he tends to use Nicki for his benefit, and he doesn't reciprocate the same energy, in my opinion. I feel like he's very weird towards Nicki Minaj. He didn't promote Pink Friday 2. He didn't promote the Needles collaboration. So even if they did work together, he's not going to promote it. He didn't promote Needles. He pretends like she don't exist. He purposely links up with all of Nicki Minaj's ops. Okay, that's another thing. He linked up with Scratch Off. He's linked up with Cardi B. He's linked up with 21 Below Average, the Migos. The list goes on and on. I just don't think he really messed with Nicki like that. But the record would definitely go number 1. Let's not get it twisted. That would push the record to number 1 if he adds Nicki Minaj. And I did hear that him and Nicki got a few songs in the stash. So they have a lot of collaborations in the stash, but Champagne Thickums, he just moves so funny. We don't know if it ever will come out. Okay, because even when he do records with Nicki, he purposely doesn't promote them. But maybe since he fell out with everybody, things will change. Maybe he'll be more loyal to Nicki in the future because he fell out with everybody. So let me know how y'all feel about it. I definitely think the record would go number 1 if they did do a collaboration. Now, moving on from that, Sukiana is being accused of shading Nicki Minaj and calling Cardi B the queen.
Cardi is the queen of hip hop, so please know your facts. Period. I know that's right.
Sukiana, you will be receiving Donkey of the Day. Yes, I know you just reading the comment on Instagram Live, and you have every right to do so, but it's not facts and it's not no damn period. Okay, first of all, how can somebody be the queen of hip-hop or rap, only got one album and can't even write their own raps? Okay, they're not a lyrical artist. How can you be the queen if you can't even write or spit your own raps or music? That's not how that works. Okay, to be the king or queen, you have to write your own raps and have more than one album. Okay, so that's how that works. I think that Sukiana, clearly she is team Cardi B. You know, she was in the WAP music video. So I know she has an alliance to Cardi B, but let's not be fucking delusional. Okay, so unfortunately for Sukiana, she will be receiving Donkey of the Day. Now, moving on from that, a lot of fans are saying that Cardi B was kind of shading Nicki Minaj. I guess she had went on Spaces and said that, Gorilla Glue and Megan Thee Stallion are relatable. A lot of people felt like that was shade towards Nicki Minaj. I don't know how that correlates, but let's take a listen.
See a girl like Glorilla, you could think. You kind of even before like, yes, she had a hot song and everything, but it's like when you look at Glorilla, it's like, yo, she remind me of one of my friends. She remind me of some girl that I want to party with, I want to smoke with. It's just like a relatable thing. Like, it's that you kind of feel like you know her lifestyle because you live that lifestyle. It's like Megan. She look like one of those girls that is like you, like it's like, yo, I have to make it. I have to go to school. Cause not everybody live my lifestyle. Not everybody is a gang member, ex gang member, stripper, whatever the like me. Not everybody could relate to my lifestyle, but everybody could relate to her lifestyle. There's a lot of girls that is like they go to school, but they're fun girls too. Cause when you go to school, you just not everybody just think like, oh yeah, you a nerd. No, you a fun girl, living your life, going to school, experimenting, having fun. That's what makes some girls so unique. Every I don't know, like every to me, every female rapper that is like popping right now, people like them because there's like something that they could relate to. Like, as I relate to her, I like her because I feel like she speaks to me.
Now, some people are taking it as shade towards Nicki Minaj. I'm not really taking it as shade. You know, people felt like she was trying to say like certain female rappers are not relatable. Just like how y'all say Queen B's not relatable, but Rihanna is. You know, people felt like it was subliminal shade towards, Nicki and JT and the female rappers she don't really mess with. Let me know in the comments if you feel like you relate to Gorilla Glue or Megan Thee Stallion. And is that why you listen to their music? So let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, moving on from that, Purdue Chicken End of the World debuts at number 33 on the global Palify chart with 2.589 million streams. Let me know if this is a bop or flop. She also will be in the top 80 on next week's Billboard Hot 100 chart. This would become her 62nd entry on the chart. I don't mind the song. I think the song is actually pretty good. But the only thing is, it's still a flop. You know, we cannot say this is good for Purdy Chicken. No. Top 80, like, come on now. Okay. Purdue Chicken been in the game for a long time. She should be going top 40, top 30 instantly. But I think one of the main reasons why her music ain't doing as well as it did during the Flowers era is because she's not getting that Payola package. See, Flowers got Payola. That's why it went number one. It stayed at number one for multiple weeks. She had Payola. Purdue Chicken without the Payola, these are her real numbers. Let's be very clear. Okay, and now that iHeart is getting investigated for Payola, and also Payola Board changed the rules. It was announced that Payola Board has changed the rules for putting out multiple versions of a song, how a song will count towards Billboard, and their Payola restrictions. Now it's going to be harder for a lot of these pop girlies to go instantly number one because they may not get the Payola package that they used to get. Okay. Now, of course, messy as Justin Bieber gets caught stalking Selena. Ever since her engagement announcement, he's been off his rockers. Okay. He's been off his medication and he clearly needs help. He has been liking pictures of Selena and of her new boo, Benny Blanco, on allegedly the Complex Instagram page. I feel like you're stalking her is giving stalker, no shade. Because my whole thing is, don't you got your own relationship? I mean, I know you're miserable, but why are you stalking your ex's relationship? Shouldn't you be focusing on yours before Haley files for divorce? I mean, goodness gracious, he just stayed stalking Selena. I know that poom poom must be fire because you stalking the ex 8 years later. It's giving weird. I think Selena needs to get a restraining order. Okay, I think she should be afraid for her life. Justin's not well. I've heard he can get aggressive behind the scenes. I think that she needs a restraining order. There's just something mentally wrong with this guy. I just don't understand why you gotta stalk her and like pictures. You was just dissing her last week. You was dissing making fun of her engagement. Now you want to like pictures. Interesting. Yeah, so I think something's wrong with Justin. Okay, he needs to seek help. And hopefully he get the help in rehab or, in church. But I think the first step he needs to do is get a divorce. Clearly you're not in love with Haley. That relationship is over. And you just need to acknowledge that. So they need to separate and he needs to get help. Now, moving on from that, Kung Fu Kenny and SZA's Luther is predicted to spend 10 or more weeks at number 1 on the Hot 100, especially with the tour and possible music video on the way. Oh, wow. 10 or more weeks? That's crazy. That means everybody else is flopping. Y'all not doing what y'all supposed to be doing. One of these pop stars were supposed to take Kung Fu Kenny and SZA out the number 1 spot. Gaga failed to do so. Chappelle Ronald McDonald Roan is top 5, but she also failed to do so. Okay, top 5, not number 1, with all the payola you get. Playboy Bottom Bussy Cardi failed to do so. Who else dropped and failed to go number 1? I think The Weeknd too. No shade to The Weeknd, but I think Harry Styles, he's gonna take it. Harry Styles, when he dropped, he going number 1 instantly. Okay, I think if Harry, Queen Bee drop, the single for Act 3, she going number 1. If Champagne Thickums puts out the Nokia remix featuring Nicki Minaj, that's going number 1. So, I think that a lot of these artists, they're unable to take Kung Fu Kenny out the top spot. But there are artists that can. I think Harry, Queen Bee, Nicki, and Champagne Thickums could. And even the Chart Says Racist. With 15,000 versions of one single, she can definitely take Kung Fu Kenny and SZA out the top spot. Because she gonna try to finesse and find a loophole to, put out multiple versions of one song to go number 1. I'm sure she'll find some sort of loophole to go against the Billboard rules, because that's something that the Chart Says Racist would do. So she's instantly going number 1 too. But everybody else, y'all got to step it up. Now, moving on from that, Liz Diddy is getting dragged on social media for what she said on a recent podcast.
I love Madonna.
I have to really clear up some shit, because people came for me on the internet because I said Janet Jackson is the queen of pop. I said Janet Jackson's the queen of pop, and here is why I said Janet is the queen of pop. Britney Spears is doing a Janet impression. And she said it. Janet is her diva.
Yeah, for sure.
There were no such things as pop divas before Janet. Janet was first. She was famous when Madonna was a kid watching her on television.
Yeah.
Now, Liz Diddy, yes, I do think Janet could be considered to some people the queen of pop, even though I've heard a lot of people say that it was Madonna. And Britney definitely copied Madonna, and Tate Murray copies Britney. But wasn't Cher around before Janet? Maybe they came around the same time, but I thought Cher was popping before Janet. She could be considered a queen to some people. What about Diana Ross? Come on now. Do your Googles, do your research. That didn't really make a lot of sense. Aretha Franklin, now she might have been the queen of soul or something, but, I feel like Janet, even though she's an icon and legend in the game, of course, bowed down to the queen, she wasn't the first. We had Diana Ross, we had Donna Summer. Now, I don't think Donna Summer might have been as big as Cher or Diana Ross. Maybe. I don't know. But I just feel like there were other women in the game that could have gotten that title. It's not just Janet, though. And, I love Janet. I respect Janet. She's an icon. She's a legend. But at the end of the day, I don't know if she was the first. I definitely think she should be on the Mount Rushmore somewhere, but I don't know if she was the first. So I'm kind of confused by that rhetoric, but it's your opinion and, you're entitled to that. But I just feel like, you can't just give credit to just Janet, though. but you're entitled to your opinion. And if you think she's the queen, that's your opinion. Everybody has a different queen. I've heard people say Madonna is the queen, Whitney, Britney. I've heard a lot of different names. So I feel like it depends on the type of music you listen to. You as a person can decide who is the queen, and it don't have to be what everybody else decides. But let me know how y'all feel about it. I have some very hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description. And have an amazing day.